Moon gang. Hello. Another day comes and another technical issue day with YouTube. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. What is going on, folks? What is going on? I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit shaken, I would say. I just found out over break, in between the morning stream and this afternoon stream, I just found out that some people in the community don't like me. I mean, it's been 11 and a half months of doing this, and color me surprised, but I had very much a what in the tarnation type of a moment. Not everyone likes me? I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I don't know. It's unsettling. I just thought this entire time, with me having such an abrasive personality and telling the truth at all points, since when is that gonna make people mad? Oh man, this community, the internet, not even this community, the internet is one of the coolest things. The internet has to be one of the most fascinating developments we've ever come up with. One of the most fascinating inventions. You gotta love it. Folks, we got some things to talk about. AMC trading at 42.16, GME trading at 210, the S&P 500 a little bit less than flat on the day, 468. PROG actually went red, unfortunately, not too long ago, down by 1.86%. Like, I mean, that's a couple cents when you're talking about something $5, but not being able to hold it. Some people are trying to point out the fact that with it being November 17th, and depending on what's going on, you could look into the filings of like, okay, is it theoretically possible that they could have diluted to the tune of at max 13 million? Yes. Let's think about this two different ways. Does it make sense for them to want to dilute it? PROG, I'm talking about Progenity. Yes, they can dilute 13 million shares. And right now we're dealing with basically an outstanding share count of 180 million, free float of 80 million. So that kind of gives you an idea of like the degree of where 13 million fits into the scheme of it. Is that possible? Yes. Does it logically make sense? You know, I've been thinking about this, and I was also kind of talking, I was reading over commentary from both Wall Street Viking and True Demon, and I have to say I agree with them. They had this in their back pocket as a company for a couple weeks now. They didn't necessarily have to wait for today. Once again, please dive into the SEC filings. But also, some very good points are being brought up of, it doesn't make sense for them to do a dilution now when there's like going to be a partnership with a bigger pharmaceutical player. To me, the timing seems a little suspect, but let's just say that I'm wrong on this. Let's say that we're all wrong on this, and yes, they did dilute it. Let's say they waited for November 17th and they dumped this 13 million shares on it. Folks, today PROG's volume is 200 million. 200. And we're talking about a dilution of 13. That's small. Like we're less than a tenth of it. Like we're damn near a fifth of it. Not a fifth. Sorry, 5%. Not a fifth. 5%. If we trade 60 more million in the next 13 minutes here, it's literally 5% of just even today's daily volume. Is it theoretically possible? Yes, it is. If you dilute that. Dilution, people don't like that because your position's inherently being diluted, but then again, you also get more money. But from the filings I'm reading, not too long ago, they've already been raising $20+ million as a company. So am I saying that this is complete FUD, and am I here to completely debunk it and say it's absolutely impossible? No, because it is possible. It is possible. If we're being completely honest and looking in each other's eyes right now, yes, it is possible. Is it the most logical thing? Not really. If they did do it, how much of an impact does it truly have? Well, we traded over 200 million and we're talking about 13 million. And that's if they decided to do it in one day, no less, like kind of spread it out over various days. Something to consider for sure, but let's just be a little bit honest about, I guess, the overall situation. So anyway, markets are being a bit wonky. If you look at the Russell right here, the Russell down by 1.2%, Qs flat, SPY slightly red, but even AMC, we were as high as 44. We came down and bounced off of the low 42s. GME was as high as 218. We're bouncing off of 210. PROG was as high as 620. We're bouncing off of 460. Kind of a day where the morning was really exciting. We sold off, midday was boring, and now we have a little bit of bearishness in a lot of different equities, but hopefully from now until the end, we see a bit of buying. That would be absolutely phenomenal. So beyond this, I do want to give you kind of these Ortex updates. So for AMC, estimated short interest 15.6%, net return of 1.94 million shares today. For GME, net return of 34,000, estimated short interest of 8.8%, and for PROG, short interest estimation of 27% with a net borrow of 346,000. Just want to get those metrics out there. Obviously, throughout this stream, we can check on it, especially before the market closes up for the day. But I do want to talk about some just other pieces of news. Crypto.com buys naming rights to Lakers Staples Center in a $700 million deal. The Staples Center will be renamed for Crypto.com. I think they should call it Crypto. I don't really like when you name things that have like the .com in it. Like, let's just call it Crypto, the Crypto Center. Anyway, next month, and $700 million deal for naming rights to the home arena of the Los Angeles Lakers. The name change will take effect on Christmas Day as the Lakers host the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA's annual Christmas Day games. The deal links Crypto.com with one of the NBA's top brands, offering crucial brand awareness as the cryptocurrency platform positioned itself to capture market share in the growing digital currency space. So I just thought this was a little bit interesting. Terms of the agreement were not disclosed, but a person familiar with the deal told CNBC that it was a 20-year contract worth $700 million. So some rumors, the rumor mill going, this was not publicly disclosed, but I guess just a person familiar with it said 20 years, 700 mil. Whoa. That makes the deal one of the richest naming rights agreements in sports. In September, the Steve Ballmer-owned Clippers agreed to a $500 million deal with financial management tech company Intuit, and Chase Bank in 2016 struck a 20-year deal, roughly $300 million naming rights with the Golden State Warriors. Previously, what the Staples Center is, Staples reported $116 million over 20 years starting in 1999 for the naming rights to the arena. So 116 for 20 years, now going all the way up to allegedly $700 million for 20 years. Not bad. That's about 6x growth in 20 years time. That's a good chunk of change just to call your arena something. Moving on. Another day, another Tesla stock sale for Elon Musk, $8.8 billion over the past 7 days. We know this is probably about halfway, according to his Twitter poll, which I very much think he's going to follow through on, mainly because he needs money to pay off taxes for other options things. Overall, he's coming out net ahead, but we know the number is going to be closer to about 20 billion. So like I say, he's about halfway. I don't think this is going to end, or articles like this or headlines like this are going to end anytime soon. Once again, I strongly think we are looking at about 20 billion, halfway there. Tesla CEO offloads another $973 million in stock and nearly halfway to a goal of selling 10% of his stake. Exactly right there. So about halfway. I think if he continues at this pace, we're going to be talking about it till probably the end of next week. Speaking of some crypto and all that craziness and gains and money, Avalanche's AVAX token surges to all-time high after Deloitte deal, defying crypto trend. Avalanche is an Ethereum competitor that facilitates decentralized applications, also known as dApps, and the creation of custom blockchains on its ecosystem. Launched by Ava Labs in 2020, just so you know, it was originally created in 2018, but the mainnet went live in 2020, just so everyone knows. Avalanche's native AVAX token has a capped supply of 720 million. It's also deflationary, and it uses part of the consensus mechanism for paying network fees. So they have some very unique things from a technology standpoint. And just so you know, I want to show you the graph of it and why I'm talking about it. But anyway, Avalanche founder This very smart professor from Cornell said his company will be partnering with Big Four accounting firm Deloitte to build more efficient disaster release platforms using Avalanche blockchain. So that's the update on it. And I just want to show you why I'm talking about it. This is Avalanche in the bottom right here. I own none, but I want to own some. Look at this. Coming off of $10, shooting up to 50, shooting up to 80, coming down to 60, now at 107. This thing has been on a monster run, and it was able to get over that hump of $100 with the Deloitte announcement. To be clear, I own none, but I want to own some. I'm going to wait for an opportunity to buy a dip, and then I'll create it. So what's kind of special about this is it's impressive technology for a couple reasons. And the highlight of it is it's attempting to be, in a certain sense, a hub of tokenized real world assets. And recently it's been pivoting a bit more into NFTs just because NFTs have been really hot. But what you have going on and why this one from a technology standpoint is pretty impressive is it has 3 different things going on with its blockchain. So you have the X chain, the P chain, and the C chain. So the X chain is about minting, like the tokenization, minting, all those transfers, that type of stuff. Then you have the P chain, which is going to be about your network validation, security. And then finally, the C chain, that's where all of its actual smart contracts are going to be. And smart contracts, that's the exact same thing that sets apart Cardano. That's the thing with Ethereum, Solana. It's how we have these NFTs and DeFi and all that. You need those smart contracts. That's the key to utility. So Avalanche, obviously smaller than Ethereum in terms of like namesake and name recognition, but with it, it's considerably cheaper. It's considerably faster, opposed to like 13 transactions. Avalanche can do up to 4,500 because of the way these back-end blockchains are set up for Avalanche. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm interested in it. I want to learn a bit more. I just want to give you the recent news of why it seems like all cryptos are red, but we have one very well-known one that is soaring higher and higher. This recently came onto my radar before I was looking into the news, actually I was reading Dave Lauer's Twitter, and he was talking about it, of how it was impressive to see that this one's making new highs as the other ones are taking a percentage breather right now. Avalanche, I just want to throw that out there. Like I said, I have none. I'll let you know if I do buy any, but maybe just something worthwhile for everyone to look into. If you want to let me know in a chat or something, how many of you already knew about Avalanche? This is one of the first times I've been hearing about it, but maybe I'm just living under a rock. I'm curious, how many of you have heard about it? How many of you are actually already in it? It's something new to me, and I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar. Now I know, to all the hate watchers right now who are steaming out of their ears, how dare Matt Kohrs talk about anything that is not the stock that I'm in right now? How dare he, the gall of this duck kid, to possibly bring something up in the world of financial news and media? I want his head on a spike. This is unacceptable. He is not allowed to talk about anything unless it's in my portfolio. I will have none of it. I'm sorry. Am I actually sorry? Absolutely not. I don't know. I don't know if I have the ability to muster extra fucks to give about you. But to the hate viewers right now, hey man, it's going to be a tough ride. It's going to be a tough ride. Will I cow down to internet mobs who are uninformed? No. I get a sick pleasure out of just poking and prodding and just like pointing out the idiocracy of which surrounds your life. I get, man, it keeps me going. My life runs on sangria, Cheez-Its, caffeine, and pettiness. And if I were to give you like that food pyramid of where it's all at, pettiness is the core foundation. It is the core foundation of what keeps me going. So no, it's not going to lighten up like in any aspect. Speaking of pettiness and where we can all, I don't know, learn a lesson or two, I want to play you this video from January from one of the OG silverbacks.
But Charles was looking at this phenomenon some weeks back. Now, you know, Charles Payne, if you look at the catalyst initially for attention going to GameStop, it was a guy who was going to take it to the internet level, joining the board, finding a way to be more than just a brick and mortar concern, looked promising, enough for Bank of America to say, all right, this is an issue that's worth maybe $10, $15 more a share. Nothing like this. So what happened?
Right. Well, Neil, first of all, I got to say, I recommended many of these stocks on January 11th or before. I've got the report in my hand that I sent out to my subscribers, and here's the list. The shorts, first of all of this nonsense, all of this noise, all of this whining by Wall Street, it's making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. I didn't hear one person on TV complaining about Wall Street trying to crush GameStop. 140% short. I told my subscribers, buy this stock, and they made a fortune. I also told them to buy Virgin Space, Virgin. We took profits on that today. Fizz, that's up huge. Tangers is up huge. Neil, you can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of a stock, and nobody says anything. Crush these companies into the dirt, and then when the individual investor makes money, everyone's up in arms. Oh, they're going to lose their shirt. Don't you think people are trading? If it traded 80 billion shares today, people are ringing the register. I have a kid who bought a house. He made $50,000 and bought a house. So yes, some people are going to lose and some are going to win. But if they want to change the rules of the game now because the general public is making money after decades of the shorts crushing thousands of stocks into the dirt. I have watched stocks being crushed completely to zero, and no one ever whispered anything because those stocks didn't have Wall Street sponsorship. They were small names. Maybe they went public through a reverse takeover. Whatever it was, the shorts have had their way with the market for decades. No one's ever complained about it. So I am thrilled. If you were going to try to destroy a company by shorting 140% of its stock, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Boom, 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 right there. And I think he touched on some very interesting points. And it really, that was from January, folks. That was, I believe, January 26th, 27th, 28th. Like, that was something that Charles Payne said, like, before he talked to any of us. Like, we really, as a community, didn't have a direct line with Charles Payne until like June. So this was months. This was 6 months, 5 months before like we had any real like clear connection and support from Charles Payne. Well, I'm trying to point out the fact that he was always supporting. That was January. And he was like saying, hey, like, they figured out the game. They got you here. And now like everyone's like bitching and moaning about it in terms of Wall Street when they're like, oh, this isn't allowed. I thought that was interesting to bring up. I wanted to share that with all of you. I was just finding that in, I don't know, a series of things that I have saved in all these other crazy videos. Very, very interesting. And just, it's always coming back to like this concept and this rhetoric that we've been discussing of the game changing, the rhetoric changing, you're moving the field goal, just a lot of things that they're acting as if it's like hard, fast rules, but then when the game's underway and it's not going their ways, it feels as if they're moving the field goal, which is insane. How could a financial system possibly be operating in that manner? But that's literally what we're doing right now. And that's, in my eyes, one of the major things that we're actually fighting against and back against is saying, no, like this, tell us the rules, make sure the rules are fair for everyone involved, and then let us play. If we're right, we're right. If we're wrong, we're wrong. But right now, this concept of almost like a dynamic game of like, nah, like, let's just keep altering the rules until they end up winning. That's the part. And it's kind of cool to see that even in January, Charles Payne was kind of, I guess, orating that, illustrating that on national TV right when it was going down, the insanity of it. I need that frog hat, please, Matt. What's going on? Little smelly nuts. Do I mind showing the PROG Ortex? Not at all. 27%. Did Matt Kohrs talk about his wine with no ice? I mean, I drank bottle, like room temperature wine out of the bottle, no ice involved, and it was, I just don't get why people do it. I think it's a big conspiracy. I think everyone thinks that they're supposed to like room temperature wine. And like, it's just something that they share, and they're like, yeah. Like, you like it, and then everyone's like, yeah, I like it too. I guess we both like it. I think it's just a travesty that we're all trying to act like we like it, and we push it forward, and just generations and generations, and everyone's like almost peer pressured into thinking they like something that they don't like. In reality, no. Liquid wine, it should be cold. That it's wine. It should be cold. I love how big you can be. Chris, what's going on? What kind of wine do you recommend? I think the Napa wine has a duck on it, and I pick my wine by the art on the bottle. It has nothing to do with like the year, the taste, or anything like that. I am a wine consumer exclusively based on the art of the bottle. I can't stand you. Here's $5. Matt, I hate you. Take my money. Hump Day. How's Thicky Papa Kohrs doing? Nothing but love over here in Sacramento, California. Oh, Decoy. It's called Decoy. So shout out to Decoy. Free sponsorship. Get yourself some Decoy duck wine. Long ladder attack on PROG. Are you in options for PROG? I am. I have various options and also stock in PROG right now. I like it. I like what's going on. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just letting you know my thoughts and why I'm in it. And I'm excited. Jesus, Matt, room, red temp, chilled white, sangria with ice. Or you can have them all with ice. That's an idea. All right, hang on. Where else are we? They keep saying someone died. Did someone die? Like, actually, that I should know about? Nikki, I've actually had that one, and I picked it because of this picture. I liked it. I like the circus picture. I've literally had that just because I was like, oh, that's some cool art. I like that art. You know how they say, like, don't judge a book by its cover? I do the exact opposite with wine. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll take that. Young. Who has passed away? Young Dolph. Is this true, or am I spreading false information? Hang on, let me just pull up the news really quick. Rapper Young Dolph shot and killed in Memphis. Law enforcement sources have confirmed. Whoa. 3 independent law enforcement services have confirmed this. Well, that's... wow. Young Dolph, 36, walked into a store to buy cookies, and someone drove and shot him around 1 p.m. on Wednesday at the bakery in South Memphis. I get it. This story saying he was shot while buying cookies. Wow, in Memphis. Huh. Guess it's not fake news. I guess that's very much real news. I heard petty, Matt. Stay thick and petty. What's going on, Jessica? We're doing go by art on the bottle. Jeez. Crazy. I wonder. It sounds like it happened not that long ago, like an hour or two ago. I thought, like, was I confused? A little. I mean, that's an interesting thing to throw in the report. Like, it is specifically calling out that he was buying cookies. Like, that's an interesting, like, that's a very specific thing that they had to, like, throw in there. Like, he was purchasing cookies. But I don't know if, who knows if that part is true, but there are many news articles right now. Memphis-based rapper, man, world's crazy. Crazy. It happens. It's sad. All right. AMC currently at 42.30. IWM waking up, and we are looking. PROG messing around with that red green move. Feels like it's almost getting pinned to it's just like or it's closed from yesterday. GME coming down a little bit, 209. GME, obviously I wish it was staying over 210, but over 200 still a nice psychological win. Whoa. This is pretty crazy. Check this out. Kaleo, Wall Street Bets chairman. You back in AMC game yet? I'm down. If you're down, I've got $1.8 million worth of out of the money calls. I aped into it, so I'm 100% in. Whoa. 1.8 million. 1.8 million. That's crazy. That's a serious bet. Do I have a future date for an interview with Adam Aron? I do not. I have some things cooking in the background, like very, very big things, but like nothing, I guess, of that level. I mean, the things I have going on, like, I don't know. I don't know if I could like publicly say it. So instead of like risking making other people mad, it's just easier to like, we all find out together when I finally post it. So I don't have anything cooking in the background with Adam Aron, but we do have some very, very, very exciting things that when all is said and done and it comes out, I think jaws will drop to the floor. Real talk, Matt. Can you be a stock? Can I give you 3% of your net worth now and you give me 3% back in 5 years? LOL, seriously, dude, congrats on your career. I've been seeing you everywhere lately. I appreciate that. That's so kind. I don't know if that's a thing. 3% of my net worth. I guess if we did that, you would have to, like, you understand, you'd be taking into account how many Cheez-Its are up in my pantry right now. Like that. I would argue that that's part of my net worth. So if you're okay with that, maybe we could talk. But on more of a serious note, I've been noticing lately, I've been hearing through the rumor mill on Twitter, let's talk about rumors and drama, because why not? That there's been some people going around buying like equity stakes in YouTube channels. They're like, hey, I'll give you like, I want X% right now. You pay on a certain multiple, and then you get that percentage cut of the revenue for how many ever years forward. The entire business and landscape of social media and particularly YouTube is changing rapidly. Now, I myself am not a TikToker, but I think that's even heading in the way of somehow even more money. And like, I guess that's the thing that I know there's like the TikToker fun and people still pay for ads and that, but I'm saying to be even like more mainstream advertisements the way that YouTube is. And there's people on TikTok who get serious views, serious views. It's just interesting. Overall, I think it's an exciting time for social media in terms of running your own business, being your own brand, because before the expanse of technology, it was mainstream media. You had to work for one of those companies, work up the corporate ladder, and then maybe you had some sort of public facing brand. But now, seriously, trust me, any ding dong can turn a camera on themselves in their basement and shout out it for hours. Like there's no rules. I've looked into it, like literally anyone. Like I was just like, oh, like, can I do this? And they're like, we don't see why not. And I was like, all right, let me work at shouting at a camera in my basement. Social media itself is changing the entire landscape of media. And I find it very, very cool because all of a sudden you're seeing trust really pivot from like a media source, like these classic big ones, to just individual people. People are like, I'd rather listen to that person than like a staple media name. And it's just changing so rapidly with technology. It's really, really cool. It's an exciting time. The calls are posted on Kaleo's Twitter. 500K more if AMC's under 44 on Monday. Whoa, that's crazy. Rumors and drama, oh my. Shout out to Boulay, Bean, Cootery, Dilly, Cat, Seth Daddy, and Stegosaurus. Seth Daddy and Stegosaurus. Shout out to what a wheat wine and barley wine. Whoa, they make wheat wine and barley wine? Where will they stop? Aren't there rules on this stuff? There's no rules. YouTube algos hold my beer. Yeah, I say that even though I've been terminated, 3 times? And is that how many times I've been terminated? At a certain point, you lose count. You know, your first termination, it's unsettling. You're like, what is going on? This isn't allowed. Termination 2, you're just like, what's going on here? And then termination 3, you're ready to go like full Russell Crowe gladiator on the entire system. What is up with DraftKings? Someone said, what's up? What's up with DraftKings? What's up, DraftKings? Whoa. Don't want to look at my DraftKings investment at this moment in time. Is this just a really bad shoulder? I hope not. I really hope not. Looks like we have upcoming support at 35. I got in here at 47, so that's not good. That's about down 20% on that investment, but maybe we'll be lowering this average if the opportunity presents itself. But for me, this is a long-term hold. This is not something I like actively pay attention to. It's in a different account. I just buy, I hold, I sit. I buy, I hold, I sit. Thoughts on NVIDIA going into earnings? How is NVIDIA performing today? Are people excited? Seems like they are the opposite of excited. As you can see from my technical analysis right here, here's kind of the game plan I have. We have the arc, we have the ball coming down, and then it leads us into more of an interrogative, a question, a mystery, if you will. And then that mystery is, okay, is it going to gap fill 267 or is it going to gap fill 233? I like NVIDIA. I'm bullish on NVIDIA. In the short term, I'm seeing a little bit of bearishness, but that could be completely wiped off the map when you start considering just the fact that the earnings is today. That's a fundamental driver. If they beat earnings, it could gap up. If they miss on earnings, it could gap down. It's a 50-50 shot. Overall, medium term, long term, bullish on NVIDIA. Short term, it's a big old question mark. Big old question mark. And yes, before many people ask, this is professional level technical analysis right here. Deal. You have to take into account how many Cheez-Its you'll have in 5 years. Solid bet. Contract INC. We're inking it up. Inking it up. What else do we have? Batman versus Spider-Man. Like conceptually, or are we also talking about an individual actor? Because if we're talking about like individual actors, it's going to be hard to be better than Christian Bale. But if we're talking about just like the character in general, like let's say from the actual comic books, I think I might have to give Spider-Man that edge. It's tough. That's a very good question. Do I think it's a good time to get into Solana? If Solana successfully bases at 210 and can get back above 220, 225, that would be the kind of demand I would want to see. I would find that to be particularly interesting. You're close to support. You're playing some new demand after a sell-off. You're just kind of waiting for crypto in general to bend back around. But when I'm saying like that bend back around, when you're starting to see demand, that's exactly right here. Like, yeah, you might want to see a little bit more, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. It sells off, and then all of a sudden you start to see that U-turn. It's making the cup. So like if I were to finish my drawing here, hang on, let me do it a little bit better. It's always, the stock market is not much more than just like a nice cup of tea. It's always about the cups of tea. So you have the cup, and then here, let me just better draw this for everyone. You have the handle. Let's put some liquid in here. Let's make this. Yeah, so it's like a hot cup of tea, but you see how we're filling it. We're pouring the tea into the cup, and then it like kind of rolls around here, and then you start to fill the cup back up. That's exactly what I'm looking for here. Now, this particular cup, it gets a bit wonky. It really does. The question is there a hole in the corner of the cup? That's what we have to find out. And that's really what we're seeing around 61,000. Is it going to bend back around, kind of build this up and get the momentum off of the tax issues right now in the infrastructure bill as they relate to crypto, the regulations there, India making some weird moves, and then also China reiterating the fact that they're not going to play ball with crypto once again. But overall, this is what I'm watching. Risk is set up. Your risk 58,000. We're seeing the swing back around. Another thing I want to illustrate here is, remember, in timeframes, when it comes to the market, it is easier to be a long, like the longer the time frame, the easier it is to be engaged in the market. The shorter the time frame, you have more randomness involved. So for example, this could be right now, like this overall of like, oh, it's bending. But even if this is a proper, accurate, bullish call, in the short term, it could still drop a whole like $1,000, and this is still valid. So that's my point of, the shorter the time frame, the more randomness that you could be subject to. It's one of those things that the S&P 500, this is a great example. Some days we look at the S&P 500 and we're like, whoa, like it's down, it's doing this, it's down 1%, it's down 2%. But over the long term, oh, that's reasonable. Even these dips, I mean, this was a month of hell. But even if you just kind of held up, you're like, oh, wait, it goes and you zone, like this is the market. The longer the time frame, the less randomness involved. You could argue that this was the randomness, the event of an entire global pandemic, but still, if you had enough of a time frame, if you took a big enough snapshot, well, the thesis was still intact of what to do. So I think that's a good thing for everyone to remember. The shorter the time frame, the more randomness you're going to have. Even if you look at something such as AMC, GME, yeah, certain days are weird, but look at the picture, all right? The apes came into the scene here. It started to build up, higher lows, got this craziness. We had a pennant, lower highs, higher lows. The overall picture, let me get rid of this just so it's easier to see. The overall bigger picture is still intact. Like, this is so incredibly bullish. I don't want people to get caught up into the minutia of a single day, single week movement, because overall, this is what we're dealing with. What you see right here, hang on, check this out. I think this could actually be a really good exercise for everyone involved. I'm just coming up with this on the spot. Insanity. All right. Let me bring up AMC. All right. AMC daily. How can I get... Let me just... hang on. Make it a little bit more accurate. All right, right there. What do you see? Pretty freaking similar. I know the one on the left includes more time, but overall, this is what I mean with randomness in long term. This on the right side of your screen was basically January all the way until May. This on the left side is June until right now. Pretty similar. It shoots up. It comes down, it spikes, it has one little pump up, comes back down, has another pump up, and we're waiting to see where this goes. Now, does this mean, oh, Matt, you're showing me bars on a chart. Does that mean it has to play out? No, I'm just trying my best to illustrate when it comes to the market. History doesn't repeat. The saying is, in the stock market, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. That's a very, very common saying. And okay, if we're rhyming, hey, I have no issue with this type of whatever this thing that we're whistling is right now, this little tune. If this is the one that we're rhyming with, I am A-okay with that. But more importantly, let's take into account the picture of this year, because I think AMC is a completely different company ever since January. Oh, we're still up, folks. Like, I know there's been craziness, ups, downs, but even look at the SPY when you zoom out, you have craziness sometimes that's not so good, but it still is. The overall big picture still intact? I would argue very much yes, especially if we get above 446, because then we're talking 53, then we're talking the low 60s, then we're talking the all-time high of 72. So please, if you find it to be emotionally distressing from day to day to day, I think it's okay to take a step back, look at the big picture of things, learn about other aspects of the market. And even with this, if you're also noticing that somehow related to AMC and GME is going to be a similar scenario. If you're noticing, you're like, hang on, duck boy, as you say with like a tone of certain sorts. You're like, hang on, if it's going up, like how am I down? And I think a lot of that is people who are so new and they see how much options can make you money and they jump into options a little bit too early and you just get burned on premium time and time again until you slowly see your bank account drain. If you're new to options, yes, you can make a lot of money. It is a derivative class that has a leverage rate of 100 to 1. You can make a shitload of money if you're right. But with that leverage comes higher risk. So the odds aren't necessarily in your side. So if you're new to options, I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm just saying, make sure you're actually dedicating the time to like learn what you need to learn about them. Just learning about calls and puts now, that doesn't mean start trading calls and puts now. That means, okay, learn it, learn the strategies, open a paper trading account where you can trade with fake options just to like hone the skill. It's a skill like anything else. Tara is trying to get you to stream it. How do I stream it? Hey, gonna have Gasparino on your stream. He's on in 8 minutes. All right, guys, I can't miss this one. Where's Gasparino? Where's he? It's 3. So Fox, is he on Clayman? Yes, no, maybe so.
Unique. That's why they customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what
Is
you
that
need.
where we are on Clayman? Anyone? King's the best Batman, you uncultured swine. Yeah, he is pretty good. Breaking, I'm about to go on with Liz Clayman and clarify what I reported yesterday regarding Mark Kohrs' plan to help AMC get into more details. These are the days that the content finds you. All right, I can hear it in my ears. I know you guys can't hear it yet. We will get here when it gets going. PROG going green on the day. GME down by 40 cents. GME in the green. IWM trying to fight back. Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. E-Gleep. Folks. I think I'm on the right thing. Hang on, let me just find this. This is so loud. Excuse me. Where are you, Charlie? We're coming. We're coming, Charlie. Liz? Breaking. No. Charles Gasparino. Why doesn't he follow me? Tune in. I'm about to go on Liz Clayman and clarify that I reported yesterday. Blah, blah, blah. We'll get into more details about my convo coming up. All right. We're doing it.
This is a legal alert for individuals with Parkinson's.
They tricked us. Folks, they tricked us. Bamboozled. Hoodwinked. They started it. You all saw it. Frustrating. Frustrating to say the least. I feel hoodwinked. Just like in Over the Hedge. They tricked me. They tricked all of us. I have began making good money swing options, but I definitely paid to learn. Unfortunately, thank you, Matt. Dark Horse. I mean, that's a lot of people. Opened a paper trading account, still lost money. Oh, man. All right, Parkinson's. This might be a little bit tinfoil hat, but do you think they were just waiting for a lot more people to view what's going on? Is he just trying to backtrack and protect himself legally because he spoke about Kohrs without saying things he should have said? All right, let's get... Come on. Give it to us, Liz. No. Golf? All right. We're waiting. Come on. All right. AMC $42, GME $209, IWM coming back. How's the SPY? The SPY is waking up actually. PROG $490, Tesla 1,100, almost $6 away. Lucid hanging out at 52. RIVN, you know, they tried to push it down to reality and people still kept buying that. That's ridiculous. Another one. Hi, I'm Jason, CEO of Vault Health. We are proud to be a sponsor of Matt Kohrs' Duck Channel. We hear he is one petty person, but that's what we do here at Vault Health. We help people that have to walk the tightrope between low self-esteem and narcissism, like our favorite YouTuber, Mr. M. Kohrs. All right, here we go.
What do they say? Fortune favors the brave. The crypto exchange, famous for its inspiring slogan, and celebrity spokesman Matt Damon emerging dramatically in a black t-shirt. Making its mark after inking the biggest naming deal in sports history. The storied Staples Center in Los Angeles will now be called the Crypto.com Arena after the Singapore-based cryptocurrency exchange paid more than $700 million for the naming rights. The arena, of course, is home to the LA Lakers, the Clippers of the NBA, of course, and the LA Kings of the NHL. The name change will take effect on Christmas Day and will be in place for 2 decades. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all are lower right now. We've got quick breaking news. President Joe Biden now at this moment hopping into an EV Hummer during his tour of a General Motors plant in Detroit. This is one of the first production 2020 GMC Hummer EV pickup trucks to roll off the factory line. As we are looking at this, it's a white one. You can see the back is different from the old school Hummers. It's actually a pickup. The president is expected to make remarks on the EV future in the next hour. These things retail at $108,000 for the all-EV version. It's pretty tricked out. President's in it. He's getting the feel behind the wheel of the all-EV Hummer. All right. We'll be checking in. Maybe we can do a big little.
That's breaking news.
Keep the video up as we go on.
Man gets in car.
With this hit.
They're like, shut up.
Mark Kohrs. You know this name? You may have if you were watching Charlie yesterday. He's a longtime investor who specialized in short selling throughout his 40-year-long career. But in kind of a switcheroo, he's now an investor in AMC Entertainment, yes, the theater chain, and has come up with a very unique pitch that involves a special kind of dividend for shareholders. Charlie, after your report yesterday, you spoke with Mr. Kohrs last night.
Right.
What did he have to say?
He wanted to set the record straight on a couple things, a correction I want to issue. There was a banner that said Kohrs is said to have met with Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC, on this plan. He has not met with him.
Okay.
He has provided him, and I'm going to read some of this stuff off, and this is going to be a really interesting story in the next sort of couple weeks as AMC, particularly if they go for this. I mean, I don't know if they'll go for it, but it's going to be a fascinating story, and we're going to have Mark on the 23rd. He's agreed. He's traveling. As soon as he gets back on the 23rd, he's coming on. He wants to talk to you and I about this.
Oh, me too.
You too, yeah. He wants you to moderate. So here's what we know, and I'm going to read some of this stuff, kind of like headline. He told me that he emailed Aron a vague plan to issue a securities token as a dividend on AMC stock. Try to get your hands around it. AMC probably couldn't issue a dividend, but if you issue the token, it could have inherent value. Okay, Kohrs says the token will trade on Patrick Burns, well, the T0 platform that was founded by Patrick Burns.
Yeah, he ain't part of it now.
Yeah, the former CEO of Overstock. The purpose of the concept is to put an NFT with value into the hands of AMC shareholders, so they get something in value, the shareholders. Now, here's the secondary added, he called it an added feature, which is fascinating. It will, he believes, end the debate once and for all over whether AMC is subject to naked shorting. Why is that? If you have this dividend, right, and you've lent out the shares, right, the people that you've lent out the shares to hold shares that are essentially owned by somebody else. The broker lends the shares out, in terms of a short sell. The ultimate owners, the holders, are going to want the broker to get those shares back so they can basically get the NFT, get the dividend, right? That will create the situation where people will go out.
Eliminate shorts.
Well, you'll start buying this like crazy. Now, if there's these synthetic shorts, which is these sort of wickedly open positions,
Listen, the city of Miami issued its own token, and they are making money hand over foot.
That's different.
Of course it is, but I'm saying when you issue a token,
yeah, but let's get back to
you start to move things.
I know, but let's get back to the original purpose. Overstock did something like this, which squeezed the shorts.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Stock started trading up higher. This could be the same thing where you get a short squeeze coming out of this, which could be very painful if anybody's really short. Now, we should point out, it's only 17% short interest, not huge amounts. I mean, it's not 100%. But anyway, it's going to be interesting next Wednesday.
Okay. Everybody tune in next Wednesday. I will moderate, and I will keep them apart. Hope I don't get punched in the middle. But thank you, Charlie. We are coming right back. Dow is down 167.
Well, that was weird. Just kind of cut out on us there. Overall, it seems interesting. So what is going on, and like the tone that I got from that is basically Charlie got caught lying. Mark Kohrs called him out, and then the very next day he's like kind of backing it up. And he's like, no, like this is actually what was said. Let me set the record straight. Once again, just like A+ reporting from Charlie Gasparino, always going out publicly when, you know, he always has everything right. He has the sources, everything's tip top. This is one of those one-off things that like he doesn't make these mistakes often. Trust me. He does not make these mistakes rarely makes these. Okay, maybe. Okay, he makes them a couple. Well, okay, he makes them a couple times more than we want. And by that, I mean weekly. You know, in fact, every other day there might be a mistake like this, but it's okay. We got him under control. Don't worry about that. Overall, Mark Kohrs is arguing that instead of a normal cash dividend, we can do a special dividend based on NFTs, NFT blockchain. There'll be value there, but it's also a unique way to basically get a track of all the ownership. And with this, when you have a verified ledger, you're going to be able, like he said, actually, this is the one thing Gasparino got right. It would end the debate of are there naked shorts or not, because everything would be 100% verified through the blockchain ledger. To my understanding, a week from today, I believe Mark Kohrs is currently in Europe as I'm saying this live, and I believe he's coming back, and it sounds like he's coming on to speak with Gasparino, and it sounds like Liz Klayman will be the moderator of that. If I had to guess, it's going to be popcorn worthy, just judging how Mark discusses Gasparino right now, like even on space calls and stuff. So I think there's going to be some excitement, to say the least. So mark your calendars. A week from today, it sounds like Gasparino's going to be going live on Fox. That'll be interesting. The 23rd, isn't that the day before Thanksgiving, right? Is that the day? I don't even, the market might be doing a half day that day. I'd have to check the holiday calendar, but something definitely to pay attention to with it. He's trying to very much tie it to Overstock, but Overstock was also a story of something that was abusively shorted, and then it ended up having a short squeeze. So Gasparino seems to be attaching it in a certain way of like, hang on, like, is this allowed? Like, yes, it is allowed to find out if there's naked shorts or not. Like that as investors, as company owners and leaders, you should 100% be able to know that if you're what your investment is being diluted by like a fictitious amount of supply. So that tone was weird, that like, hang on, is this even allowed? Yeah, it's allowed. You're allowed to have those answers. You should have those answers. But most important from that thing, before it was cut out on us, was I just noticed how Gasparino's tone changed. He went from very combative to now he's just reading. He's like, oh, this is, how many times did he say fascinating? And even with the cutout, he might have thrown fascinating in there a couple more times, but it was all fascinating to him. Reads this tweet, fascinating. Reads this tweet, fascinating. All fascinating. Fascinating. And you have to understand, it was fascinating. Like, to someone like that, journalism is fascinating. Like, true journalism, like that shit could blindside you. So like, I get it. I'm right there with him. It is fascinating to actually care about the truth. Charlie's short gray hair squeeze. Kenny got him. Been in AVAX and LRC for a couple weeks now. Just got into RNDR.X since All In Podcast mentioned Saturday. RNDR might be big one, worth getting in early. I had to look into that Trey Subway Cup. What else do we have? About 30 seconds till market close, folks. Let's see what's going on. Kind of a not crazy day in the market. The three of the major indices a bit flat. IWM down, AMC down, GME up by roughly the same percentage. PROG slightly in the green, but not as exciting as what the pre-market was. Crypto trying to start to claw its way back, but let's see how that all plays out. What do we have? Let's see. Didn't she say he's now invested? Yeah, Marco Hodis, I believe, has 60,000 shares of AMC. The last, I believe that's what I read on Twitter. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is now closed. I always love being able to hit the closing bell here from Citadel's offices. It's always an honor, a privilege of mine to hit the opening bell and the closing bell. Very much appreciate it. So folks, that's it for you. AMC closed out the day at 42.13. GME was at 210. Tesla 1090. Lucid 5250. PROG 488. RIVN 146. Bitcoin currently above 60,000. Ethereum above 4,200. Solana just under 220. SHIB hanging out at 48. That kind of this is going to be a day in the markets that it was exciting. It had a lot of potential at the opening, and then it got very much just quickly boring. So here's to hoping that tomorrow is a little bit more exciting, a little bit more volume, a little bit more volatility. But right now, hey, the course is still in our favor. The apes have obviously charted out this expedition, and we are still trending in the direction that puts a smile on my particular face. Here is the plan. I will be posting some stuff to Kohrs Lite. Remember, that's pinned to the chat above, right there, above me, wherever it is. Click on that, check out the Clips channel for the live streams, and then I'll be posting an update video on this channel, the main channel. So before you head out, if you want to help me with the algorithm, don't forget to drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Liking, subscribing, completely free. I do very much appreciate it. Obviously, I will catch you in those videos on the Clips channel and the update tonight, and then I'll be streaming 9 a.m. bright and early. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. Overall, thank you for the support, and as always, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.